Most intermediate guitarists are wasting years of their precious practice time on the wrong things. This can lead to so much frustration as the hours of practice time lead to very little progress. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 simple and musical exercises that you'll be able to immediately apply in your solos. These 5 exercises will give you some foundational musical phrases to put into your playing. So I've taught this lesson thousands of times in my 30 years of teaching, and it always leads to my clients soloing better and having more fun. But you may be thinking, I don't like exercises, they're boring. You know what? Me too. The problem that most guitarists run into with exercises is that they're doing it to train their fingers. Doing that is tedious, and you often don't get results for the hours that you put into it. What we really want to focus on is not training our fingers, but training our minds and our ears to hear these musical phrases. That way we can actually use what we're practicing. So I'm going to show you 5 simple musical exercises that we are going to play to a backing track so that you will gain musical phrases. This will not only make the exercises more fun, but you will be able to see the practical application of these exercises. The exercises will instantly give you some new phrasing ideas. And make sure you stick around for the last one, as it's one of the most useful exercises for guitarists. There's a link in the description to download the PDF and backing track that I created for this lesson. So today I'll be demonstrating these exercises in the key of G minor. I'll be showing these exercises with shape number 1 of the pentatonic, but after you get comfortable with them, you should move them to the other landmark shape, shape number 4. And down the road, you may want to play these exercises on all 5 pentatonic shapes. So first I'm going to give a brief explanation of each exercise. Then I'll demonstrate how you should practice the exercise with the backing track so that you can hear how these exercises can actually turn into usable musical phrases. Exercise 1 is playing the pentatonic scale in groups of 3. So we're going to start on the first note of the pentatonic scale and go up 3 notes. Then I'm going to come back 1 note and go up 3 more notes. And that's essentially the pattern. I come back a note and go up 3 notes. Come back a note and go up 3 notes. Coming down, we're going to do the exact opposite. So I start on the highest note, I come down 3 notes. Then I go back up a note and then come down 3 notes from here. So back up, down 3 notes. So essentially that's going to give me 3-note phrases, which are really common in music. So you may have been introduced to this exercise already, but I want to show you how to actually make music with the exercise. So instead of focusing on this as a big pattern like I was shown years ago, we're going to focus on these little 3-note groups. And how those 3-note groups can give us usable musical phrases. So now I'm going to demonstrate playing those 3-note phrases with a backing track, which I think is the most useful way to practice this. So I'm playing different rhythms, sometimes slow, sometimes fast. I'm just trying to fit this into the rhythm of the song. I'm hearing the groove of the song and I'm trying to interact with that rhythmically. So just playing 3-note phrases with the groove of whatever backing track you're going to be practicing with. So now I'm going to descend. So now I'm going to mix it up and play some ascending, some descending. So exercise 2 is the exact same groups of 3, but now I'm going to use hammer-ons and pull-offs whenever there are 2 notes on the same string. Here's what that looks like. Descending. What ends up happening is we get 2 patterns that get repeated. Pattern 1 is 2 notes on one string, which we will hammer on, and 1 note on the next string. Pattern 2 is 1 note on a string, and then 2 notes on the next string, which we will hammer on. And essentially, those 2 patterns keep getting repeated. Pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 1, pattern 2. And descending, we get the same thing, except with pull-offs. Pattern 1, pattern 2. Pattern 1, pattern 2, 1, 2. So here's what those 3 note groups using hammer-ons and pull-offs sound like in a musical context. Now I'm going to extend those. So I'm going to play that 3-note phrase and then kind of keep my phrase going. So I'm going to improvise, but I'm starting each of these phrases with that little 3-note nugget. Exercise 3 is playing the pentatonic scale in groups of 4. So this is very similar to the first exercise. We're going to start on the lowest note of the pentatonic scale, but now we're going to go up 4 notes. Then we go to the second note of the pentatonic scale and go up 4 notes. Third note of the pentatonic scale. Fourth note. Fifth note. Etc. In descending, we do the exact opposite. We start on the highest note, come down 4 notes. Then we start here. So here's what those 4-note groupings sound like in a musical context. Again, I'm playing the 4-note phrases to the rhythm of the song, so I'm kind of changing the rhythm, but I'm really focusing on playing 4-note phrases. Now I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So exercise 4 is playing those same groups of 4, but using hammer-ons or pull-offs whenever there are 2 notes on the same string. So again, we're playing the exact same pattern as we did before, but anytime there are 2 notes on the same string, I'm going to do it with a hammer-on if I'm ascending. I'm going to do it with a pull-off if I'm descending. So essentially we get 2 patterns that keep repeating. Pattern number 1 is 2 notes on 2 different strings. So this is 2 hammer-ons in a row. Pattern number 2 is 1 note, 2 notes on the next string, and 1 note on the next string. And that keeps repeating, so the whole pattern looks like this. Pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 1, pattern 2. And descending, it's the opposite. We just do the same thing with pull-offs. So here's what those 4-note groups with hammer-ons and pull-offs sound like in a musical context. And again, I'm not trying to play a specific rhythm, I'm just trying to fit into the groove of the song. So I'm playing these 4-note phrases with different rhythms. And then I can kind of expand. I'm going to play those phrases not in any kind of order. And I may even expand a couple of notes past the 4-note groupings. Exercise 5 is playing 3-note pentatonic enclosures. So an enclosure is simply approaching a note from 1 note below and 1 note above, or the opposite, 1 note above, 1 note below, and then hitting the target note. It sounds more complicated than it is, so let me just demonstrate. So let's take the first 3 notes of pentatonic shape number 1. I'm going to play the first note of the scale, then skip to the 3rd note of the scale, and then come back to the 2nd note. So I ended up playing 2 notes in a row with the same finger. And I'm going to try and roll my finger, so I don't want to bar it. I don't want those 2 notes to ring together, but I want to try and roll my finger so that I get a clear sound. And then I come back to this 2nd note. So 1st note, 3rd note, 2nd note. And then I'm going to take that pattern through the scale. So now it's 2nd note, 4th note, 3rd note. So I end up getting these 2 patterns that keep getting repeated. So I got this, and then. Descending looks like this. So this one's not all that intuitive, because with this pattern you end up playing 2 notes in a row with the same finger. But this is a very musical phrase, and you've heard this little 3-note grouping in all of your favorite solos. So here's what it sounds like practicing these patterns in a musical context. I'm going to use that 3-note pattern as like a jumping off point. So I'm going to play that 3-note pattern, and then I'm going to kind of extend my improv a few notes past that. Again, to download the PDF and the backing track that I'm using in this lesson, just click the link in the description. So you should be able to see the difference between practicing exercises and practicing exercises musically. So in the future, I highly encourage you to practice any exercise this way, with a backing track or a loop, so that you can hear it in a musical context. Practicing exercises to music will take it from being a theoretical exercise to something useful that you'll be able to put into your playing immediately. But if you want your solos to sound like what the pros play on your favorite records, check this video out.